Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you're doing well. So today's video, as you can see, I'm beaming ear to ear because I'm so excited to film this video because I'm going to be sharing my health and wellness favorites, like my current health and wellness favorites. So these are current obsessions, and when I get obsessed with stuff, like, I don't shut up about them. My friends and family hear all about it, my clients hear all about it, and I was like, I need to bring this to the YouTube gang. Also, to add, just in case anyone is new, firstly, hi, welcome to the channel. It's lovely to have you here. But my name is Ebony. I'm a naturopathic nutritionist. I specialize largely in women's health, particularly around skin and acne. So basically what I want to say is all of these products I'm going to go through in today's video are also Nutritionist approved. Okay, so first up, we have these bone broth shakes. So these are from the brand Freja. Now, before I go into this, firstly I need to say I had a lot of reservations for trying these because when I first heard like chocolate flavored bone broth, I was a little bit like, that just sounds wrong. It just sounds weird. It just doesn't sound like those two things should go in a sentence. But anyway, I gave these a go. I actually tried the chocolate one first and oh my God. I was floored, absolutely floored by how good this is. This is literally like a chocolate milkshake. You cannot taste the bone broth at all. This is something that I have not been shutting up about recently, particularly with clients, because I love bone broth. So if we inject the kind of nutritionist side, bone broth is fantastic, particularly for your gut, because it is rich in things like collagen, gelatin, amino acids, minerals, and all of these not only like nourish our gastrointestinal tract, but they also aid the repair of our gastrointestinal tract. So bone broth is a really nice thing to add in, particularly if you are trying to heal like your intestinal barrier, for example. So I absolutely love adding this into clients' plans, particularly if that is a big focus within our plan, like if we're doing a bit of gut healing and sealing. And when it comes to bone broth, there's lots of different ways you can have it. So of course you can make like pure bone broth, you can make it yourself, or you can you can buy it pre-made, and you can add bone broth into a lot of savory dishes. Like, it's really easy to add into soups or sauces, but some people will just have it straight, like in a cup, and just drink pure bone broth like that. Now, the thing is, that's not always everyone's cup of tea, and this is where these bone broth shakes can come in. It gives another option, another alternative to people who maybe don't love just drinking straight up bone broth out of a cup, or maybe people who find, you know, they do add it into their meals, but they're just not being consistent with it. These powders can be fantastic for that, because all you have to do is pop the powder in with some milk, whiz it up, and there you go, it's done, right? And you can drink it and it tastes nice. So I just think finding things that helps people with consistency, that's like my favorite thing. This chocolate one is by far my favorite. Like, this chocolate one is unreal. It is so good. They have absolutely nailed this recipe. So this one definitely takes gold and is the one that I recommend the most. I personally just found the strawberry a little touch too sickly sweet for my liking, so I probably would rank this one my least favorite. But then I know people who love this because it reminds them of like Nesquik. If you remember like strawberry Nesquik, it's kind of that kind of vibe. But yeah, I just found this one a little bit too sickly. I didn't love that one as much. The vanilla though, absolutely love. The vanilla reminded me of like, again, kind of like a vanilla milkshake. And I was actually thinking, oh my God, like in the summer, if you mix this with like ice and like did it cold and did like a frappe with it, I reckon that would be insane. And just one more thing to say on this as well in terms of ingredients. So of course they're gonna have sugar in them. They are sweet bone broth powders. But this is actually something that I really like about them, is that they use coconut sugar. So I actually personally really appreciated looking at the ingredients list and not just seeing a list of sweeteners, because I'm very skeptical on the sweeteners. Even things like stevia and all of them lot, like I think in small amounts fine, but I'm a bit skeptical of having those in higher amounts. So I personally actually did like seeing that they used coconut sugar and didn't just switch it out for a sweetener. Because sometimes, I mean, let me know if you agree, but sometimes I actually find the sweeteners taste even more sickly sweet. I don't know if you agree with me on that, but I know like protein powders, for example, some of the protein powders I've tried in the past that use like stevia or some of those sweeteners, they are so sweet. And yeah, my taste buds just don't like it. So yes, these are sweet, but I don't feel like they're overpowering. Like, they feel quite mild in that sense. Oh my God, and something else I also completely forgot to say about the chocolate one is you can also do hot chocolate with it. How did I forget to say that? And I actually did try this in my Velvetizer and it worked amazingly. So you can also make hot chocolates with the cacao one. I'm just sitting here thinking of all these ideas now as well. I'm just thinking with the vanilla one, I should try and make like a turmeric latte with it. Oh my God. So anyway, I highly recommend checking these out, and you can get them in a lot of different places. I'll link them down below, but they are also on Health, which I have a 10% off discount code for. I've actually got a whole storefront on there. So I'll link down below places where you can get them. And if I've got any like discount codes that apply to any of those places, I'll leave them down below so you can save some extra money. Okay, moving on to the next thing. So this is more so in the mindfulness space, and these are journal prompt cards. If you're my client, you'll be like, oh, here she goes. Listen, I think journaling is such a powerful tool, and I do appreciate it can be quite daunting if you've never done it before, because you think like, what am I going to write about? Do you know what I mean? To sit down with a blank piece of paper, like that is daunting. I totally get it. And because of that, people put it off, and then just never get round to doing it. Again, it's taking the hard part, like the effort out of it, and making something easier. Each card has a different journal prompt, and what I personally do is I will come down in the morning and I'll give them a shuffle, pick one at random, and then that will be the prompt that I will answer that day. And when it comes to these questions, some of them literally could take 2 minutes. It doesn't need to be a huge chunk of your time that you've got to take out of your morning or evening. The one that I just pulled out here, it says, where are you secretly a bit resentful? List all your possible resentments. You will feel lighter afterwards. That prompt, that could take you a couple of minutes, or you could spend an hour on that one prompt. If you are someone who's like, it's something that I'm interested in, but I just don't know where to start, and I feel quite intimidated just sitting down with a pen and paper and just letting my brain go, start with prompts. Okay, next up we have a supplement. So this is an electrolyte supplement, and it's from the brand Ocean. If you struggle with taking your electrolytes because you find it's just so salty, like I know some of the electrolyte sachets I've tried in the past, it's like straight up just salt in the water. If you struggle with that and you're not really enjoying that experience, may I introduce to you Ocean. I feel like electrolytes are having their moment at the moment. But they are, and I'm all for it. Like, I absolutely love electrolytes. Minerals are so important for our health. They are the spark plugs of the body. So needless to say, if these minerals are lacking, it is going to have a negative impact on your overall health outcomes, because these minerals play such a large role within many different systems of the body. Another thing I really appreciate about the Ocean electrolytes as well is that they don't use any added flavorings or sweeteners or anything like that, which a lot of the other electrolytes on the market do. Like, it's quite hard really to find electrolytes on the market that aren't just loaded with a load of sweeteners. So I really like that about this, but at the same time, it still tastes good. Like, it's still, enjoyable to drink. I'm just a really huge fan of this at the moment. I'm loving it. Also, Rob's loving it, and it's just so easy. Do you want me just pumping it into your water? I also really appreciate the aesthetics of this bottle. Like, it doesn't look bad. Do you know what I mean? Sitting out on your counter. So I really appreciate that. Good job, Ocean. Okay, the next thing is a new little hobby that I've started, and I'm really interested to see if I connect with any of you guys on this, because I've discovered along like my journey of doing this, just chatting to people, that actually a lot of other people are into this as well, which is adult colouring. I asked for this for Christmas, and it was quite funny because I put it on my Christmas list, and then like literally 3 or 4 people got me colouring books. So I literally have like a stack of like 6 colouring books now upstairs that I'm slowly working through. But I'm just absolutely loving this as a little unwinding activity. Such a great activity to get off of your phone. And I just find it really relaxing. I really, really enjoy it. It kind of feels almost like you revisit your inner child, and yeah, I don't know, it's quite comforting. So I just wanted to mention that in today's video, because it's a new little hobby that I'm absolutely loving. There's nothing really here in terms of product recommendation, but I just wanted to mention it as a current health favourite, because these little hobbies are something that are very nurturing and nourishing to our nervous system, and that's something that we really want to make sure we're promoting, is more mindful activities, trying to get off of our phones and trying to just connect back to ourselves really without all of this noise and distraction. Okay, a quick little skin related recommendation. So this isn't necessarily anything brand specific. I just want to talk about a tool like this. Something that I really try my best to get into my routine as daily as I can is lymphatic massage and just lymph work, and I really try and do it on my face. But I'm not gonna lie, of course there are days where I just don't do it. I just don't, you know? But this is where this tool comes in, because this has been a game changer. I keep this actually downstairs next to my desk, and I try and do it in the morning. So even like when I'm like cooking breakfast or like waiting for my kettle to boil, I literally just stand there and just roll my face. Sometimes I even sit and roll my face as I'm like pondering over my journal prompt. But no, I'm not even joking. That is literally something I do. I just sit on the sofa and just think. Like sometimes that's another thing to say about the journal prompts, by the way. Like it is really good to write them out, absolutely. But sometimes you could just look at it and just have a good little sit and think about the question and answer it and just see what comes to mind even just from thinking. But anyway, going back to this, yeah, I sit on my sofa and I just do this, and I do it for about 5 minutes. But I must say, having this tool has made me so much more consistent, because again, very similar with everything I've said in this video, it's something that makes it easier. And when something's easier, I'm more consistent with it. And also I'd be lying if I said I'm also not doing this, because I've seen loads of videos of girls that do this and that their jaw lines are really defined, their cheekbones are really defined, and I just feel like their faces look amazing. I'm like, I want a face like that. So yeah, I've been doing this to also just, I don't know, hope it does something. And also another reason why I like this is because you don't need loads of products on your face for it to work. Like I actually don't put any skincare on before I roll. Like it just rolls pretty easily. So again, I love it for that reason. Like it's not like you have to like, prep the skin to do the rolling. You can literally just be downstairs, pick it up and just do a little bit of facial massage, I'll link the one that I have down below, but honestly it doesn't need to be this brand. I actually got one for my mum for Christmas and just got it off Amazon, and so I'll link the one that I bought her. But yeah, anyone that just looks like this and rolls like that will do the job. Okay, so the next product I want to talk about is another supplement, and I feel like there could be some mixed thoughts on this, but hear me out, okay? This is Colostrum Powder. So for anyone who hasn't heard of colostrum before, colostrum is, from a human perspective, it's what women will produce out of their breast, so before their breast milk comes in, and it's what an infant would have in the early weeks of life. And colostrum is very, very rich in like immunoglobulins and all of the good stuff basically to nurture and nourish that baby's immune system, and yeah, basically set them up for success in terms of health. So it's a very, very rich substance. Now, in terms of the supplement, this is obviously not human colostrum. This is animal-based colostrum, and I really want to make sure I say this now. This is ethically sourced, okay? So the colostrum, it is from the surplus that is obviously left over once the calves are fully fed, okay? So this is never taken, from mothers that where it should be going to the calf. The calves are always first priority and fed first, and this is taken from, what's left over and not used, okay? So it is ethically sourced. Now, echoing what I said about colostrum being really nourishing for a baby's immune system, that is really the first starting place to talk about with colostrum when it comes to supplementing as an adult. A lot of people like to take colostrum because of the immune effects. So it's really rich in immunoglobulins, so it's very good at nourishing and also strengthening up your natural immune system. Now, the reason why I'm personally taking this at the moment, and a reason why it's a firm favourite at the moment, is I'm doing a lot of gut work, and I'm doing a lot of work at the moment on my mucosal layer in my gut. So that's one of your like internal barriers of your gut, and I'm also, because of that, doing a lot of just general gut barrier work. And one of the star qualities of colostrum is it's very good to support the mucosal linings in the body. In fact, it actually helps with mucin production, which supports that lining, but also it's just very good in general to support the healing of our gut barrier, basically, and gut lining. So it does contain the growth factors that help do that repair work. So this is the main reason why I'm taking this at the moment. It's still early days in terms of adding it in the scheme of things. Like I've been having this maybe for like 6 to 8 weeks, but obviously gut lining and bacteria in like our gut environment, it doesn't change overnight. It takes time for these things to build up. But I will just say I've been feeling fantastic on this. Also, we're in the depths of winter. My immune system's been really, really good. I'm also really intrigued to see with time if this actually makes any change in my hair, because that's another reason why people actually supplement with colostrum. It is also really good for things like hair, skin and nails, particularly hair. That's the main one that I hear the most. I wonder also if that does come back to the immune system, because when we think about the underlying root causes that would drive drive dysfunction in these areas. Take hair as the example. Hair loss, I mean, I don't have hair loss, but I'm just now talking about this as a topic, but hair loss, that can be driven from immunity issues. So obviously this being strengthening on the immune system, I wonder if that's the reason why it has positive outcomes when it comes to hair growth. Obviously, you know, check with your practitioner, your doctor, if you are definitely if you're on any medication or if you have any existing conditions, double check before introducing obviously anything in. But definitely what I wanted to mention today and bring onto people's radars is definitely a firm fave in my life at the moment. So that is everything I wanted to speak about in today's video. I really hope that I've introduced some new things to you and maybe even things that end up becoming favorites for you too. If you feel like there's something you're loving at the moment, you're like, I feel like you would love this too, please leave it in the comments. I love getting product recommendations from other people, so you bet if you leave stuff down there, I will go research it. So please let me know if there's anything that you are loving. All there's left to say is thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.